survive when an Alliance was just absolutely aping them. And we'll see how long they can. A little bit bleak for them on screen right now with Mady of Kungarna. We saw Alliance and still in the action. They're actually taking out RO Terry Rubik is going to get actually taken out by Rascal. So Rascal continues to pop off.
Oh my goodness, we saw some major awareness right there, trying to avoid the trap, but just could not do it. This massive fight right now. Valkyrie takes to the skies to avoid Bangalore and to avoid, hopefully, certain death, but does not do so.
Alliance is feasting right now on a couple of limbs. Meanwhile, Rebel's going to take out blasts of Invictus. That's big. IG is out. Solo Q Goats also about to be out of this one. A lot of the teams that we expected to make it to late game eliminated from this lobby. Shiv's going to go to the hands of Mady. So KNG was in a bleak position, finds himself surviving and thriving.
Seriously, the survivability right now off the charts, and also the pivot and play from Alliance earlier not to rush them when they were trying to get that banner could actually be their saving grace.
That's right. And I talked earlier, if it was a geyser finish, expect a lot of teams to survive. Well, this is the exact opposite end of that spectrum. It is a respawn village right outside a fragment finish, which is a ton of open area. So that's why we're seeing so many squads get eliminated. It ended up pulling continually north, and that's a general theme with how rings pull in Apex. They tend to continue to pull in the same direction that they've pulled already. So as a north and eastern ring, that ring's going to continue to pull north and east, and that's what we've seen so far. As we're on board of Top Dogs, a very favorable ring for them. Top Dogs dropping on the far east side of the map. An Overlook, they're in a good position. Maybe even win this game.
And it looks like they want to rotate out early. They've been sitting at home nice and comfy this whole time, but now they know it's time to move forward. And earlier, the better, because the later rounds it gets, the harder it gets to do this.
And they're going to decide to drop low ground here on this multi-layered building. I call it maze because basically a maze in the low ground, which is a little scary. If you have a caustic right now, you're chilling. But with a Gibraltar, with a Loba, and a Valkyrie, I completely take back what I said. Top Dogs, not necessarily the best position to win this. They're going to be a key target for any team that decides to rotate. They might get forced in a fight here momentarily.
Yeah, definitely. We have been seeing teams opt for the low ground a little bit more lately, only because trying to contest a first floor or a second floor building that's occupied cannot be the best gamble, especially when you're trying to survive. And now we're at 15 squads, so players are going to start at least getting some points for placement, but we know they want a whole lot more than that.
That's right. I love the tracking of these players. When I try with my little thumbs on my little controller to track a Valkyrie ult, I am not nearly as successful as we just saw right there from a lot of these keyboard and mouse players. On screen with Rebel right now, though. Noth of this team, Old Man Noth, as we call him, as his teammates call him. One of the oldest players in Apex and still one of the best players in Apex, multi-champion. Big fan of Noth personally. We'll keep a close eye on Rebel, see what they can do. As you see, the team's eliminated from this one. Fenerbahce is out. That's the 5th place team and the 4th place team. IG eliminated. So a huge opportunity now for some teams to leapfrog.
Definitely. No one is out of this yet. And Underrated is still in there. So these teams taking these tight angles, taking these little corners, need to be careful of some incoming fuse nades.
That's right. TD making the right decision to drop to low ground, but again, ultimately we'll end up potentially finding a fight and having to rotate. So it's going to be a pretty difficult road ahead for Top Dogs. We'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, Rebel, yeah, is going to be tagged up, barely gets the dome shield off, and immediately jumps into the shield bat. We'll be able to heal back up to full health. Clutch dome shield for Pierre, holding on to it to the right moment. It's one thing he's great at. And most Gibraltar players are going to save that dome shield. They're going to save that ultimate defensive bombardment for the very last moment in the game, very last ring, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from Rebel for now.
Yep, and just weathering the storm right now. They have a lot of eyes on them, but they're trying to play every angle they can get. This Valkyrie trying to get away, barely does. Living on a prayer right now.
Yeah, Taylor, also one of the best slayers and most accurate players in Apex Legends, in my opinion. A young gun, 20 years old. You saw his accuracy right there. Almost gets the knock, not able to finally get it. But that would have been a difference maker if they could have gotten a knock there. Would have opened up an opportunity for a team to ape. Instead, 13 squads still remain. Unlucky 13 here as we jump into ring number 6.
And Rebel, now that that team is rotated off their right-hand side, they have a little bit more room to work with right here, but not for long because ring is going to be closing in. So let's see if they can get in without getting gatekept.
Yep, Valkyrie Q's going to come through. Nice full scan to get some intel. Again, another legend that gives you good intel is Bloodhound, and they're going to know we're not going to get pushed. Nice shots from Taylor and Noth. Good team fire coming in. They look like they're playing Halo. Meanwhile, here comes the push from Rebel. Looking high ground, the team does have control of the outlet tower. Major Pusher's going to get knocked in the sky. That's going to be a long-range shot from Munblue with the 30-30 repeater. Nice shot coming through. Major Pushers with the Valkyrie ult. It's going to get punished.
And again, we are seeing the unfortunate side of the coin to Valve ult right there, because a lot of teams, they want to hit those clips. They want to put it on Twitter. They want everyone to see they shot Valk out of the sky. So I think a lot of people are more willing to go for those shots on an incoming team than they were before.
That's right. Wraith Portal to get the revive coming through from Fido. Other Major Pushers, we'll see if they can survive. Rebel, Pia's going to get taken out here, down to 2. It's Taylor, it's Noth, Bloodhound, and Wraith. We'll see what they can do. Team nearby, and here comes the fight. Good shots being put in wide right flank from Taylor. He's going to connect for about 100 shield and crack, but needs to go absolute insane, absolute madman. What can Taylor do? The movement is there. The dipping, the dodging, and he's connecting for so much damage. Taylor is popping off, but it's not going to be enough. All up to Noth. Last alive. Noth from Rats on the high ground is going to rat his way to another kill right there. Good job coming through from Tolkien of Rats, but the damage was done by Taylor and Noth.
And Tolkien just living up to his team's name right now, finding every little nook and cranny he can get an advantage from, but that fight down below was so hectic because all of these teams are sniping in from all around. There's really no safe place out in the open right now.
That's right. We got the Rats, we got the Rascals, all types of annoying critters here live on ALGS debut. Meanwhile, we got Alliance Vifes and Alliance in general in the best position to win this game. Changes their team comp because things were not working and executes with perfection. This is why Alliance has the biggest brains of any team in Apex. I will say it right now, NA or EU, and it's showing right now. Great long-range shot with the longbow as well coming through for Vifes. Alliance, if you can look at the top left of your screen, is exactly positioned where the ring is going to end. Well positioned with the win condition to win this game.
And talk about the change in the way that this team had to play just by changing up their comp. They have such great positioning. They have managed to get damage on teams through ult, get intel on everyone around them, and find themselves in a position to definitely win this game if all goes to plan as they clean up Exons, who is just chilling out there on the left-hand side. They do evade the enemy crypto ult, so they're still sitting pretty, full shields, and now the hectic and chaos is starting to break out.
That's right. I'm calling it right now. This is just going to be the Alliance cleanup endgame, and you'll see it on screen. Hopefully my prediction comes to fruition, but they're in such a good spot. Eternal says otherwise, though. Good shield, has a gold shield for better heal. And of course, Bambino and Munbloom with the full Evo shield, fully maxed out, in the position to say otherwise. 4 teams remain. I see 3 teams of 3. Make it 4 teams of 3. It's a pure 3v3v3v3 to finish this one.
Love the choice of the helmet swap there to make sure Gibby can maybe get his bubble and get his ult a little bit faster in this final ring, because there is not much time left. 4 squads approaching, and it looks like Eternal's got a decent amount of high ground, and here comes the bubble to protect them so they can hold it down. Now the approach is coming in from all sides as this ring is getting closer and closer.
And here we go. 4 squads remain. No more Dome Shield available for Eternal on high ground, but they do have a nice high ground, so I might have to eat my words in Alliance as Eternal. I told you, number 2 team with a good position. The late Dome Shield is going to come through for Alliance. They'll be protected for now. Crypto Ultimate comes in from Hockey's. Brilliant decision from Hockey's to hold on to that to late game, but Eternal with the high ground finds himself in a great position. Yuki takes out 2. Is it going to be enough? Alliance is cleaning up, but Eternal says otherwise. Yuki last alive. Vibe's going to get taken out. All up to Yuki. 1 versus 1. Taking a 1v2. Yuki's going insane. Can he clutch? And no, he's going to get shut down. It's Major Pushers who finishes it out.
Major Pushers finishes it, but Yuki almost pulled off that clutch. That was absolute madness. And, you know, we thought we had an idea of how that was going to go fall out. Boy, were we wrong.